What's up, everyone? It's your bro, Super Bro Zulfi. Welcome back to another video. Today it is July 31st, 2024. It is the last day of July, and it also means we are closing in on the 1 year anniversary of this YouTube channel. I actually uploaded my first video last year on August 31st, so we are exactly 1 month away from today from the 1 year anniversary, and it's made me look back at the channel a lot. Over the past couple days, I've been going through my YouTube channel and I've been looking at the past games that I've played, the streams, the videos I've uploaded, and I kind of came to an alarming conclusion that most of the games that I've played in the past year have either been sequels or remakes. There's not really a lot of new original ideas coming out from Nintendo, and it could just be that the Nintendo Switch is at the end of its lifespan, and that's why we're getting all of these remakes and sequels. But today I just wanted to reflect on that and kind of just review all the games I played this year, and I wonder if other people are feeling the same way. If you guys feel like there's not enough new games being made in the modern age, not just for Nintendo, but also PlayStation, Xbox. I feel like we're getting a lot of remakes and sequels for those consoles as well. All right, let's start off by taking it back to a little over a year ago. It's May 2023, and I'm streaming over on Twitch at the time. The game that we're playing is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which is a sequel to Breath of the Wild, and I think that causes a lot of problems for me personally. One of the things I absolutely loved about Breath of the Wild was the open world, exploring Hyrule for the very first time, not knowing what was in the world. I think that was a big factor for many people when it came to that game. The fact that Tears of the Kingdom took the same world and just changed a few things, they added Sky Islands that were very copy and paste, and they added a whole underground area that just looked the same, so it wasn't really fun to explore. And they just added a few things like caves and small changes, nothing too major. I think that really took me out of the experience and just made this game not as memorable as Breath of the Wild. After finishing Tears of the Kingdom, I moved on to another game that came out earlier that year. In February 2023, I was playing Metroid Prime Remastered. And like the title says, it's a remaster of the original Metroid Prime from the GameCube. And they just upscaled the game. I think a lot of the mechanics are very similar to the previous game. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this game. I know Metroid Prime has a huge fan base, but I think a lot of the mechanics in the game are kind of outdated and they don't really work too well in the modern age, and it definitely needs a revamp. And I'm hoping that Metroid Prime 4 does that. Just some of the mechanics, like having to scan every single thing, takes too much time. It kind of takes me out of the experience. I don't want to sound like a whiner or a complainer. I'm sorry, I'm just not a Metroid purist. But yeah, again, a remaster of an old game. All right, moving forward to September 2023, I've officially started my YouTube channel at this point. We're waiting for Super Mario Bros. Wonder to come out in October, and to kill time, I decided to start playing Super Mario Maker 2. And just like the title says, this is also a sequel to Super Mario Maker on the Wii U. This game, however, gets a pass because this is basically endless 2D Mario levels, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of originality, a lot of creativity put into this game. You're going to have a fun time with this game. I don't even count this as a sequel. This could just be its own separate game. They did add a lot of new mechanics to the sequel that the original game didn't have. And yeah, it's a game that you could play at any time and have fun. You just got to make sure you have online connection. So again, the longevity of this game might not be there because once the Nintendo Switch online services end, when Nintendo decides to do that in the future, this game will basically be dead, kind of like how Super Mario Maker is pretty much dead at this point. But for the time being, this is a great game. It's definitely worth full price. And I actually should probably start playing it again because I feel like I don't play this game enough. Moving on to October, we had the release of two major AAA games. And both of these games actually released on the exact same day, being October 20th, 2023. The games were Super Mario Bros. Wonder on the Nintendo Switch, which I played at launch, and Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5, which I didn't play until April 2024. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is definitely the most original game that I played in the past year. They just upscaled everything, new art style, new music, new animations, new voice acting, etc., etc. Definitely worth the full $60 price tag. Spider-Man 2 was also a lot of fun. They expanded the map so that you can explore Brooklyn as well this time around. You can play as both Peter and Miles, and you have access to a new suit with new abilities, being the symbiote suit. However, because this game is a sequel, its core still felt very similar to Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So, not the most original game. Moving on to the month of November, we saw the release of WarioWare Move It on the Nintendo Switch. This game was a lot of fun, but again, it's a spiritual sequel to WarioWare Smooth Moves on the Nintendo Wii. So again, not the most original idea here. November also gave us the release of Super Mario RPG on the Nintendo Switch, which is a remake of Super Mario RPG The Legend of the Seven Stars on the Super Nintendo. And this is where a trend starts, where most of the games we start playing are just straight up remakes of older games. In December of 2023, at the end of the month, during my winter break, I started playing Paper Mario on the N64 using the Nintendo Switch Online. And the reason I wanted to play this game is because at the time we knew that Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake was scheduled to come out sometime in the spring, and I wanted to play the original game before playing the sequel. So we spent December and January playing through Paper Mario on the N64, which is an old game, not a modern game. All right, moving on to February 2024. It's officially Pokemon month. I'm in the Pokemon mood. I want to play a Pokemon game. And the game that I decided to play is Pokemon Shining Pearl on the Nintendo Switch. And this game is a remake of Pokemon Pearl on the DS. It's a game that I absolutely love. It's the Pokemon game that I've put the most amount of hours into, being like 200 plus. And I originally passed on this game because I wasn't a fan of the chibi art style, but I was like very nostalgic for Pokemon and I decided to give it a chance, and I actually didn't mind the graphics that much. But again, it's not a new original game. I'm playing just an HD version of a DS game. February also gave us the release of Mario vs. Donkey Kong. And guess what? This game is also an HD remake of a Game Boy Advance game. Yes, this game is not original either. We're just playing remakes after remakes. It is now the month of March, and we finally get a new original game after Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which was back in October. And that game is Princess Peach Showtime. I will give this game some credit because it is an original game. The game does have charm. I really like the different costumes and different abilities Peach had, but Nintendo did not give this game the AAA treatment that it deserved. The game is very buggy, it's laggy, the load times are horrible, it doesn't look the best. I highly recommend people buying this on the aftermarket on eBay. Buy a pre-owned copy for like 30-40 bucks if you can. This game is not worth the full $60. I will give it credit, it is an original game and it was a joy to play through, but I probably won't ever play it again, and definitely not worth full price. There were no major releases in the month of April, so we're going to skip that month and go right into May. The first week of May, we saw the release of Endless Ocean Luminous. I didn't personally buy this game. I was planning to, but I just was busy with other games at the time and never got around to it. And now that summer is almost over, I feel like there's no point because this is a very summery game. But I do want to point out that this game is a sequel to two Wii games, Endless Ocean and Endless Ocean Blue World. So again, not an original game here, a sequel. Moving on to the end of May, we have the release of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door on the Nintendo Switch. This is a remake of the GameCube game, and Nintendo treated this game kind of like its own new original thing because I don't think they ever really mentioned the fact that this was a remake. GameStop in Canada did have that pre-order bonus where you could get the sleeve of the GameCube to put over your game. So I guess that's one way it was addressed. but I think Nintendo is banking on a lot of their modern day fans to have not played a lot of these games. So a lot of these games feel new and fresh. So Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door is a game that we are still playing on the channel. We got like 1 or 2 more streams of it left. Another game that we are currently playing on the channel that we started playing in June is The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap on the Game Boy Advance online. Again, this is the old game that we're playing here, not new or modern. I also want to just mention that as we move into the month of August, I am planning on playing Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga on the Game Boy Advance Switch Online, and we're also going to be playing Link's Awakening, which is the HD remake of the Game Boy game as well. So again, we're playing an old game and a remake of an old game. I say all of this to say that in the past year, I've played a total of 12 games, 14 if you include the 2 that I'm about to play in the month of August. And out of those 14 games, only 2 of them were original games. And from those 2 games, one is actually worth it, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and the other one is not. So I wonder if you guys feel the same way. Do you guys feel like we're just not getting original video games anymore? That we're just getting a bunch of remakes and ports and sequels over and over and over again? Do you guys like that? Do you guys dislike it? Let me know in the comments. I think a lot of these video game companies, especially Nintendo, just is hoping that a lot of their new players on their consoles just haven't played the previous games. And a lot of these games will feel new to them. And to be honest, it has felt like that for me. Because a lot of these games I haven't played before, and I played them for the very first time. But that's not the case for everyone. For a lot of hardcore Nintendo fans and collectors that have played all of these games before in the past on previous platforms, I wonder what they must feel. They must feel like they're just having to buy the same game over and over again. So yeah, that's just something that's been on my mind. I wasn't really aware of this until I actually looked back at all the games that I was playing, and I was like, a lot of this is not new and original. Hopefully things change as Nintendo gears up with the Nintendo Switch 2 next year. Hopefully we'll start seeing a lot more original titles come out to the platform. I'm curious to know what your opinion is on this topic, so definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. And also make sure to hit the like button. It helps the channel out a lot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, so you don't miss any future Nintendo content. It's been your bro, Super Bro Zulfi, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.